Without further ado, I'd like to officially welcome everyone listening in today to the first of many learning sessions that we'll be doing for our CAAT Fall Series all-member webinars. So welcome. So this specific webinar today is what we like to call the CAAT Plan Overview presentation. Now, before we get going, I want to properly introduce myself. My name is Steve. I'm the lead of pension education here at CAAT, and I've been here with the CAAT plan, I would say over 8.5 years now, working in a variety of roles. But my current role is actually to provide learning sessions such as this one to help teach members about their pension. So I've been in the pension business for over 15 years now, and I'm very excited to be here. So today we're going to cover the features of the plan and point you to some helpful resources so you can start to learn more about your CAAT pension and how it fits into your overall plan for retirement. So let's get going. So it's always a good idea to review the agenda or outline before we start, but I'm simply going to turn off my camera now just so you can better easily follow along with these slides. Okay, so today we're going to cover CAAT's promise to you, which is really talking about how your pension is more than an account balance. It's more than a balance. It's guaranteed monthly income for life in retirement. So having a defined benefit pension is a big deal. Approximately 2/3 of Canadians don't have an employer-sponsored pension plan. But that's not the case for our audience listening in today. You're in the mix or you're in that minority. So we're going to talk about why defined benefit plans are great. Then we're going to get into the features and benefits of the CAAT plan. So we'll discuss how you can plan your future with confidence. And finally, I'm going to show you how you can get more out of your pension. Okay, so we're going to talk about something called pension purchases. And we'll also go over, again, all the resources provided by CAAT so we can support you every step of the way. Oh, and my favorite part of the webinar today, near the end, I'm going to be doing a demo of the CAAT online member portal, and it's called My Pension. So hopefully some of you have already registered for this great member tool. So when most Canadians talk about their retirement plans, a lot of the conversation focuses on the amount of income they need to retire comfortably. So these investment products, these savings arrangements, and streams of income, they're all geared towards a dollar amount in their account. And this is for good reason, right? Because no one wants to run out of money or outlive their savings in retirement. But as a member of a defined benefit or DB pension plan like CAAT, you can now breathe that sigh of relief because your pension is so much more than a dollar balance. It's income for life. Fun fact, 79% of Canadians say that they're likely to change jobs for a better pension. So what are employers doing about that? Well, employers are transitioning their existing arrangements to a lifetime retirement workplace pension plan, like CAAT's. So what is that doing? Well, that's just simply providing equal value now to both employees and the organization. So it's essentially a win-win. So what is CAAT's promise to you as a member? Well, it's very, very simple. Your pension is guaranteed for life, period. I like to describe CAAT's defined benefit pension as a pension promise. When you retire, you get money every single month deposited into your account. So it's like a paycheck in retirement, so to speak. And it doesn't matter how long you live because your CAAT pension will be there for you. It's predictable. And most importantly, it's secure. Now, while you're working, both you and your employer are contributing towards your future, and the amount that you get at retirement is not affected by market ups or downs or things like that, because you will know how much your pension will be before you retire. And that way, you can feel confident about your retirement savings. So how good is a modern defined benefit pension? Well, the case for DB pension plans comes out of many, many studies with similar conclusions. So the one you're seeing here on the screen, this is one of our favorites. This is based on a study titled The Value of a Good Pension, prepared by the Healthcare of Ontario Pension Plan, and also validated by several university professors. It reported that the expected payout for each dollar contributed is much higher with a defined benefit plan compared to individual savings or even a large defined contribution or DC pension plan. So in a nutshell, you get more for every dollar you contribute with a defined benefit pension. Now, if you take a closer look at the screen, more specifically, you can see that for every dollar contributed to an individual RSP, that expected payout is $1.70. For a large DC pension plan, that expected payout on the dollar, it's a little larger. It's now $2.58. But for a modern defined benefit plan like CAAT, the payout on the dollar is $5.32. So you can see that that's about 3 times higher than the individual RSP. And of course, that's without, the stress, it's without the risk or even the cost to the members. And part of the reason is this is also because defined benefit plans are able to pool their investments and manage that risk effectively. Okay, so better benefit outcomes for you, meaning you get the best payout for your contribution dollar with CAAT, and without the stress, anxiety, or worry of managing your investments on your own. So what I'm really trying to say here is that with a defined benefit plan, you're getting twice the pension with less risk and stress. So this graph compares saving for retirement with CAAT versus saving on your own with, let's say, a group RSP. Now, CAAT is the top line that you can see here, smooth, steady, and increasing, because your CAAT pension grows every year while you're a member and contributing to it, and you'll know what your pension is going to be before you retire, and your CAAT pension continues to grow even in retirement. As you can see here, it continues to increase beyond that dotted line. All right, and this is because it's going to receive conditional inflation protection increases. Now, the other line, the savings line, is the volatile line shown here. Now, as you can see, it can start to grow, but it's kind of jagged. It goes up and down, and it can even shrink as those markets change. Savings plans like DC plans and group RSPs, they mainly focus on growing an individual savings account while you work, giving you a set sum in retirement. Okay, so this means that your retirement income is based on how much you contribute plus how much you can earn in the investment markets. So that means that you are responsible for all those investment decisions, which can sometimes, again, it can lead to stress, right? Now, the payouts at retirement with these types of savings plans are truly unknown. And when you retire, your balance will start to go down. It's that decumulation effect. So there is a real risk that you could outlive your savings. Okay, but that is not the case with a defined benefit plan. It's not the case with your CAAT pension. Your pension is a consistent, reliable source of income. So that means it's secure. And again, it's income for life. So your pension is growing while you work and contribute, as I said earlier. But keep in mind, your employer is also contributing on your behalf. So when you think about it, that's doubling your investment and growing your pension faster. Not only that, but your contributions are fully paid back to you after only 5 years of pension payments. So let me say that again. After being retired for 5 years, you would have received all those contributions that you put in during your entire working career. So that's a very, very quick return. And remember, your pension keeps going even after those 5 years. So try doing that with an RRSP. Now, some new members of the plan, they come up to me, they often ask me, they say, Steve, what is my balance? A defined benefit plan like CAAT is unique. Your pension is based on a pension formula, not an account balance. Okay, but you will receive an annual statement. So every CAAT member gets a personalized annual statement, and it's probably the #1 tool you should be using, especially if you're planning for your retirement. So this is where you want to start, and it's a great resource. Now, again, you get it every year, and it's like a snapshot of what you've earned since you've been enrolled in the plan. Okay, it's going to show you your earned pension, your contributions that you put in, some personal information about you, for example, like your enrollment date, your date of birth, things like that. But the statement always looks at the year previous. So that means that if you're still working, your pension would have already have grown by the time you read it. Okay, and your statement, you'll have it in your hands by June 30th of every year. That's the legislative deadline. All right, so time for a quick poll. This is going to be the first of a few polls that we'll be launching today. So it's going to be a very short poll, but if you don't mind, please, if you look at the screen, I'm just going to put up a question here. And all we're asking is, how long will my pension be paid? So you get a couple of choices here. Please, if you don't mind, we appreciate your participation. Just click one of those radio dial buttons, and I'll give a few minutes for you guys to respond. Oh, and I'm already seeing you guys are responding, so this is fantastic. You guys are putting in some answers. Thank you for your participation. The numbers are moving, and I'm going to close it now. All right, we're going to go back to the presentation here. And most of you got it right. Like 95% of you said every month for as long as you live, and that's correct. Okay, I think we had one person say 5 years, and we had a couple say until my balance runs out. Well, that's not the case. Remember, with a defined benefit plan, it's a consistent, reliable source of income. It will be paid for as long as you live. All right. So I'm just going to check to see that you can see the screen here, and yeah, you can. So I'm going to be moving on. So at this point, you may be wondering, okay, what exactly is CAAT? And we're going to get into that, I promise you. But did you know that 70% of Canadians are willing to forego a higher salary in exchange for a workplace pension? So 70% are saying, you know what, I don't want a higher salary, but give me a workplace pension and I'm happy. And today, only 11% of Canadians have a DB or defined benefit pension plan. So defined benefit plans are a big deal. They're often considered the Cadillac of all pension plans, the best of the best. But why are defined benefit plans considered the gold standard? It's because they provide certainty in retirement. And I've also explained some of the reasons why already, but our mission here at CAAT is to bring this pension to more Canadians across the country. So CAAT originally started off as a pension plan for Ontario's 24 colleges. So for example, the Humbers, the George Browns, the Sheridans. But we strongly believe that all Canadians deserve that safe, secure retirement income. So what we did in 2019, we opened our doors and we made them available. So we know that, yes, pensions are good for seniors, but they're also good for Canada as a whole. There was a study that was conducted by the Canadian Centre for Economic Analysis, and they found that for every $10 that a pensioner receives, it actually generates $16.72 in economic activity for the country. And that's actually driving $82 billion in national GDP. Now, across Canada, pension spending supports almost 1 million jobs. And not only that, but studies show that retired people, pensioners with pensions, are most active in their community, and they have that higher life satisfaction. So expanding pensions to more Canadians is really, it's not just good for seniors, but it's good for everyone. Now, in terms of our growth here at CAAT, what's been happening over the last few years is that we now have members who work in over 200 different employers, and there are over 75,000 members across Canada. And that's across 11 industries now. So there's strength in being a member of a plan that has many employers. The diversity that comes from different employer types and member groups, they add greater resiliency, as the CAAT plan is not dependent on the health of, let's say, any one single employer. So yes, we want more Canadians to have this great defined benefit pension. And for years, pensions have been out of reach for so many people. So this has forced them to rely on their own savings. But now at CAAT, we are on a mission to amplify the message that pensions are for everyone. And CAAT has this great solution to spread retirement income across Canada, and you can help with our Plan Ambassador program. So you could join today and take that first step in being an ally to help us improve retirement security for more Canadians, if you want to. This program is also, it's also going to give you access to a ton of resources. It's going to give you access to information that demonstrates the positive impact pensions make on a person's well-being and also their community. So I'm not going to reveal all the finer details of the new program, but I can tell you it recently launched, and once you join, you're going to have access to curated educational content. You'll have access to the latest research on Canadian trends, and you'll even get messages from CAAT's CEO, Derek Dobson. And by the way, all this information will get sent directly to your inbox. So it's very, very easy. But I guess the bottom line here is that we want you to continue this conversation, because with our members as plan ambassadors, we can help spread awareness to future members and employers. So please visit the website at www.caatpension.ca/plan ambassador. So CAAT is a jointly sponsored pension plan. So we are not a single employer defined benefit plan. We are not a target benefit plan. We are a JSPP. I apologize, we love acronyms in the pension world. But it's a joint governance model. And that means that members and employers make decisions together. And they make those decisions about the risks, the costs, and the benefits through their representatives on the plan's governing body. So we have a sponsors committee, and we also have a board of trustees. Now, what's important to understand here is that we have equal representation at that board level. So half the members on the board are members of the plan, and they're represented by various union groups, and the other half represent the employers. Okay, so this structure we find works very well at CAAT because it truly promotes that shared risk and that shared responsibility. Okay, and this structure is actually recognized as a model for success in keeping defined benefit plans sustainable. And our strategy for resilience is to use funding reserves and conditional benefits to keep the plan sustainable and your pension secure. So I'm going to talk about funding reserves and conditional benefits. So funding reserves, they provide a cushion against any unexpected changes, like, for example, the market's going down or demographic shifts. As you can see from this graph that I'm showing you here, you can see that our funding reserves have been steadily growing for the past decade. So our current funded status is 124%, which to you means that we set aside $1.24 for every dollar of pension that's promised to our members. So yes, we are in that surplus position, and these large reserves that we have built provide you with confidence that things like conditional inflation enhancements have a very high probability of continuing to be granted going forward too. Now, conditional benefits, we talk about these for a second. Although they're not guaranteed, these are benefits that are based on the plan's funded status. So when the plan is more than 100% funded, like it is today, conditional benefits can be paid. Now, it's very important to note that since CAAT has had these conditional benefits, we've had these benefits for 14 years now, and they've always been paid. So that means that, yes, you can be confident knowing that your pension remains strong and resilient, and it's probably one of the most sustainable plans in Canada. So our investment program is designed to generate long-term returns, and that's to keep benefits secure over time. The CAAT fund is expertly managed, so you don't have to make investment decisions or worry about what the market is doing. CAAT invests so you don't have to. A relative of mine who's saving on their own for retirement works for a private grocery chain in Ontario. I won't say which one, but she was supposed to retire about a year ago. Well, guess what? The pandemic happened, and because of the effect that COVID-19 had on the financial markets for the last couple of years, a lot of people had to delay their retirement, including my relative. So in short, her retirement savings took a hit. And yes, she's still working today, so she's 64 years old, but she's hoping to retire in the next few years, hopefully sooner rather than later. But she had to delay her retirement, and needless to say, she wasn't too happy about that. So that was an unexpected change that she had to deal with. But had she been in a modern defined benefit plan, she could have retired when she wanted to. Now, we are also mindful of the potential impact of investment decisions. So it's important to know that our strategy does include a responsible investing policy. And that policy does incorporate ESG factors. So I'm talking about environmental, social, and governance factors, and these are incorporated into the program. Okay, but full disclaimer here, I am not an investment expert. So if this topic is of importance to you, I highly encourage you to visit the website to find out more about our responsible investing policy. We have a whole investment section on the website so you can read about our strategy, our performance, and we even have an annual report that we send out every single year, and it talks specifically about what we're invested in. All right, so time for another quick poll. And this is a simple true or false. So if you take a look at the screen, true or false, more Canadians can now have a secure pension in retirement with CAAT. So very basic, straightforward question. What do you think? I'll give you a few seconds to put in your answer. All right, I'm going to put up the results now. And you can see the majority of you, yes, that answer, of course, is true. And again, we are increasing that DB pension coverage across Canada. That's what we've been doing the past few years, and that's essentially our mission. That's what we're trying to do. We want all Canadians to be able to have a secure, predictable, defined benefit pension. All right, so let me jump back to the presentation. So with a defined benefit pension, you can plan your future with confidence. So I've already told you that you don't have to worry about those market fluctuations and performance and things like that, and that's because your pension is based on a formula. So it is predictable, and you can even see your pension grow each year on your annual statement. And a lot of people do collect them and see that growth over time. But you can also get a pension estimate at any time through any of the tools on our website. So this lets you confidently predict your annual income during retirement, so you can, make your plans regardless of those market conditions. So let's talk about your CAAT pension now. Let's get into the specifics. So it obviously does have these valuable features that Canadians want, that Canadians need in their pensions, and it's delivered through either DB Prime or a DB Plus. Okay, so these are our two plan designs within CAAT, but rest assured, both plans are defined benefit pension plan designs, and they were both specifically designed to adapt to different workplace arrangements. But whether you're in DB Prime or DB Plus, remember, it's one pension fund with the exact same joint governance model that we spoke about earlier. So just as a reminder, DB Prime, this is our original plan design, mainly for those full-time employees working in the college system. Okay, DB Plus was launched a few years back in 2019 and is mainly for other than regular full-time members working in the college system as well. And it's also for other non-college affiliated employers that have joined. Now, if you don't know which plan design that you are in, just simply have a look at your annual statement. It's going to tell you, and you can also view it in the online member portal, My Pension. So regardless of the type of plan that you're in, remember, it's easy. You don't really have to do anything. Belonging to a defined benefit plan like CAAT, your pension grows while you work. Your employer contributes the same amount with every pay. So yes, you will be making contributions, but that's it. And right from the start, your contributions go into the plan and get doubled by your employer, okay, at the very least. Now, as I said earlier, that's a return on investment that's pretty rare. And your pension is definitely worth more than just your contributions. At the end of the day, you're going to have that secure, guaranteed pension waiting for you. Now, there's a lot of flexibility in choosing your retirement date. You can start your pension when the time is right for you, which means that you can choose a date that's tailored to your needs. Most of you know this, but we do have resources and those tools online that I mentioned earlier to help you along the way. Now, keep in mind, now you don't have to time your retirement to when your investments are doing well. You don't have to delay your retirement if markets are down, because you'll know what your pension will be before you retire. And as I said, you can forecast to see what it looks like. Okay. And that's probably the best way to look at your pension and what it's going to look like down the road is by using our CAAT Plan Pension Estimator on the website or by going on My Pension. Okay, so our tools allow you to forecast what your pension is going to look like down the road. Now, there is a window, and that window is up to 21 years during which you can choose to retire, depending on the plan design that you're in. And the date that you probably heard about is age 65. So we call that normal retirement. And it simply means you can start collecting your pension with no reductions. So age 65, that date, it's not mandatory that you retire at 65. It's not even the average date. In fact, only about 25% of our members retire on or after their normal retirement date. Most actually tend to retire earlier. But early retirement is any time you retire before the age of 65. So 64, 54, 57, any time before 65. All members of the plan are eligible to retire at 50. Now, if you're not ready by age 65, you can keep working and contributing right up until age 71. Although at that age, you have to start collecting your pension. So again, all members eligible to retire at 55, but there are two ways that you may be able to retire as early as age 50. So the first is if you're a member of DB+. Okay, so all DB+ members are eligible to retire as early as age 50. The second is if you're a member of DB Prime, and if you are at least 50 years of age with 20 years of service in the plan. So this is known as the 50-20 rule. Now, if you retire early and you're in DB Prime, remember, you're also going to get a bridge benefit. This is an ancillary benefit. It's an extra piece of pension, which is in addition to your lifetime pension. Okay, so this is from your early retirement date to age 65. Because remember, if you have a bridge at age 65, it will stop. Now, if you do decide to go early, it's fine, that's up to you, but there is a reduction. The reduction is 3% per year, and it's up until age 65. Okay, and remember, this reduction, it's simply there to reflect the fact that you're starting your pension early, so it's therefore going to be paid for a longer period of time. It can be anywhere between 3 and 5% based on the plan's funding level for those members in DB+. The reduction rate currently is 3% for both DB Prime and DB+, but the actual rate depends on the plan terms in effect at your retirement. So let me give you an easy example here. Let's say you want to retire at age 60, then you'd be 5 years away from 65. At 3% per year, that'd be a 15% reduction to your pension at age 60. Very, very straightforward math. And just so you're aware, that 3% reduction is actually the lowest reduction that we can offer as per our funding policy. And this factor, a lot of people use that term penalty. I personally hate that term because this is actually a subsidy. The reason why is because if we wanted to actuarially or statistically or truly reflect the true reduction that should be applied to a member's pension to reflect the fact that it's going to be paid for a longer period of time, well, that reduction would look more like a reduction of between 6 and 7%. Okay, so for context, if we're going to look at comparables, and if we compare this to CPP, Canada Pension Plan, well, their reduction is 7.2% per year. So under the exact same scenario that I just gave, if someone wanted to collect their CPP at 60, they'd be looking at a 36% reduction in their Canada Pension Plan. In retirement, your CAAT pension keeps growing with conditional inflation protection increases. So this is a very valuable feature that helps you to keep up with the rising cost of living. So I want everyone to think back for a second. Maybe as far back as 1996. So back then, the average gas price was less than 56 cents a liter. Average new car, 1996, $13,000. Average home was around $198,000. I'm not sure if anyone's noticing a trend here when they're looking at those prices today. But yes, prices are all going up. This is obvious. But the good news is so does your pension right along with everything else. So that means that your CAAT pension will keep up with inflation. And when you retire, that pension will keep growing even after you start collecting it. So we showed you that in the graph that we showed earlier. And here we're kind of re-emphasizing this because this is a model of what your pension would look like with and without inflation protection. So the line across the bottom, it shows your pension, on a start date, and it's without inflation protection. You can see that it's still going to be paid, which is great. But over time, that purchasing power of that pension is going to decrease. Now, the other line that goes up and that increases, the top line here, that's with inflation protection. So you can see the pension will continue to increase. It's cumulative, which means that you as a retired member can keep up with those rising costs. Another side note here about inflation protection with CAAT, once an increase is granted, it then becomes a permanent part of your pension. So that means it can never be taken away. So we can never go back in time and take away that benefit that was already granted to you. Now, your pension also includes survivor benefits. Okay, and this is obviously, these are benefits upon your death, and these survivor benefits are at no extra cost to you. So if you have an eligible spouse, that person is entitled to a lifetime pension after you pass away. And the plan also has valuable features should you pass away before you retire as well. So there is a difference between pre and post-retirement benefits, or pre and post-retirement death benefits. Quick little story here. My neighbor, 2 doors down, her name is Kim. She is a single mother. She has kids, or I should say 2 adult children, and I see them from time to time. But anyway, she's a lovely lady, and she's been retired for about 8 to 9 years now. So she worked as a teacher for many years in the Halton Catholic District School Board. So needless to say, she has a defined benefit pension. But her husband, who was also a teacher, retired around the same time that she did, but a few years into his retirement, he unfortunately passed away. He passed away from cancer. So that was a very tough time, obviously, in her life. But after the dust had cleared, she came to me. She knew that I had worked in pensions, so she had some questions. So, and actually, just as a side note, I'm often surprised that, a lot of people who have defined benefit plans, they don't truly understand what they have or anything about their benefits at all. So anyway, long story short, I helped her with her pension option documents when her husband passed away. And now she's also receiving a survivor's pension because he had a pension as well. And that pension, along with her own, is a pension for life. And I can tell you it's certainly helping her out to this day. So yeah, she was very, very grateful when she came over and spoke to me. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that quick little story there about my neighbor Kim. Now you can also name a designated beneficiary to ensure that your survivor benefits are going to be paid according to your wishes. And that could be specifically if you don't have an eligible spouse. But also we do have eligible child provisions as well, meaning that if you have an eligible child, there is a benefit there for them. And it's paid in the form of a pension up until the point where they're no longer eligible. But to learn more about survivor benefits and the specifics, please visit the CAAT Pension Plan website. All right, another quick poll here. So I'm just going to pull up, this may be our last one here, so I'm just going to launch it. So the question that I'm asking of you here is, which of the following is true? My retirement date is up to me. My pension continues to grow in retirement. My spouse will receive a lifetime pension when I pass away, or all of the above. So here, I'll give you a few minutes, and I can see the numbers moving here. They're not moving too much now. It looks like you're all getting the concept here. So this is fantastic. So I'm going to put up the results here. And I love seeing this because, yes, everyone got this. It's all of the above. You're getting all of these great benefits. So you know what? Well done, everyone. You guys are engaged, and I truly appreciate that. So I'll jump back into the session here and move on. So we're in the home stretch, and I want to talk about how you can get more out of your pension. And after we go through this here, we're going to get to your questions. So making a pension purchase is an effective way to maximize your retirement income and consolidate your retirement savings. So this may apply to you if you have an eligible period of employment with your current employer. So for example, maybe an unpaid leave, or if you were a member of a Canadian registered pension plan before working for a CAAT participating employer. But the most important thing to realize here is that this is an option that you have as a CAAT plan member. But I can tell you that it's worth exploring at the very least. The reason why is many members love this option. It's very popular amongst our members. And I think the reason why is it simply gives you a bigger pension in retirement. Okay, and I have it right here on the screen. So yeah, why would you want to make a purchase? Well, the number one reason is, again, to have that bigger pension, plain and simple. A bigger pension means that, hey, maybe you will be able now to retire a little bit sooner than you had originally planned. So I've seen that before. It also helps you consolidate those savings. So more of your retirement income is now coming from one source. Also, the purchase pension becomes part of your total pension, which means that it receives all of those CAAT plan benefits that I touched on earlier. So inflation protection, survivor benefits, all of those benefits. It also applies to the purchased amount. And not only that, but CAAT will never charge you fees. Okay, so you can learn more about making a purchase from the website, or you can attend one of our pension purchase webinars that we hold. And we'll be holding more of these during the fall series webinars. So yes, we are here to support you. We're with you every step of the way. We have tools available online that's going to help you prepare for each and every step. So the first one is visiting the CAAT website. Lots of information here, lots of tools you can access. I've said this many times. Lots of pamphlets, reading material, videos. But I think now is a great time to head over to the online member portal called My Pension. So I want to give you a demo of My Pension. And this home screen on the computer here, that's what it looks like. So hopefully many of you have already registered and this may look familiar to you. If not, that's okay. So let me just jump back because we do have a demo to show you, and I want to show everyone My Pension. Okay, so let me do that now. So before we show you My Pension, I want to show you the CAAT Pension Plan website. Okay, because you need to navigate there, obviously, and I'm going to show you how you can do just that. Okay, so this is the home page, and there's tabs across the top, and on any of these tabs that you click, you can log into My Pension. Okay, in the top right-hand corner of the screen, there's a little login feature. So here I'm on members. If I go on employers, and again, we have this little login feature. Okay, if I go to this tab, same thing here. Looks like my computer's lagging a little bit. So let me click login. I'm going to show you how to get there. So once you click that button, it's going to bring you to this page here. So this is our new online member portal. We are enhancing this on a day-to-day basis. So there's going to be increased functionality. So it's a great resource that you have. If you keep scrolling down, it asks you simply, are you a member? So this is where you log in. You click My Pension, and it'll bring you to this login page. Very basic. To register, you're going to need your email address and a password. So you're going to have to create that if this is the first time going in. To do that, you just click here, Sign Up Now. Okay, once you click this button, you'll need a few pieces of information like your member ID key, the last 3 digits of your SIN, things like that, maybe your date of birth. So you need to have these pieces of information. Okay, once you create an account, you'll set your own password, your email, and then you read the terms of use, check the box, and click Login. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you do log in. So this is it. It's called My Pension. This is your personal pension portal. Okay, I'm not going to go through everything in here. Again, we got only a few minutes left in the presentation, but it's going to tell you everything about you. So this is your personalized member portal. First thing I want to point out is right here, if you click on your preferences, this is probably a good idea to set your communication preferences. The first thing, your email address. Probably a good idea to have a secondary one. The reason why is because once you retire, most people, they put in their employer email address here, so that if they don't have a secondary one, they won't be able to access this in retirement. So if you want to be able to access this in retirement, put a secondary email address like your Gmail, your Yahoo, something like that, and then you can continue to access this in retirement. Another thing here that's important is preferred method of communication. You can choose mail, you can choose online. If you choose mail, this will send you a paper statement and will also be available online. So it's like the best of both worlds. Some people, they're conscious of saving paper, so they want to just click online and they can come here and view their statement. Up to you. When anytime you change something, just click the save button and you'll save your preferences. Okay. Then preferred language of communication, English or French, you can choose that here. And then subscription to newsletters and announcements, you can toggle this on or off. All right. Next thing I want to show you here, member information. Again, I apologize, it's lagging here. Okay, finally. So, member information. We have these little accordion folders down here. So this is all information about you, your employment, your plan history. So if you to open one of these up, you simply click the plus sign, and you can change things in here by clicking the edit button. I just want to show you plan history because members love this feature. This has all your historical information. So here in my example, there's a number of pages here. It goes back a number of years. It can tell you, what your contribution was back in 2019. It can tell you your earnings, your service, even your pension adjustment. Okay, so great information for you to have at your fingertips. And then, of course, purchase history. If you've made a purchase, it directs you to the website. Other things too, like contact information, you can change and edit this at any time, and then spousal information and beneficiary information. Okay, dashboard, I forgot to show you on the dashboard. I'll go back to this now. Again, because it's your personalized information, it's going to have your member ID, your current plan that you're in, and your jurisdiction of employment. You can access the pension estimator. So there is a built-in pension estimator directly in the portal, which is great. And right here, this is all your pension information. So it's going to tell you your annual pension that you've earned as of a specific date, which will be 2021. Mine is a little bit dated. It'll tell you your milestone dates, normal retirement, early, unreduced, things like that. Another thing I'd like to show you here is the message center. I apologize if it feels like I'm zipping through this. I'm just trying to do it in the interest of time. But this is how you can securely communicate with CAAT. So if you want to talk to us, you can send us a message by clicking this button, and you simply put in the subject, your message here. It directly sends us a message at member@caatpension.ca. You can attach files and then click send the message. Okay, so we do encourage our members to communicate with us directly through the portal. Okay. Last thing I want to show you is the estimator that is built into my pension. Okay, so click the terms of use again, click start. And now the beauty of this estimator tool within the portal, because you can also go to the website for estimates, but once you're in the portal, it provides you with what's called a quick pension estimate. So based on the information that we already have, it automatically runs an estimate at your milestone dates. So here's your normal retirement date, here's your early unreduced pension date, and here's your early reduced pension. For details on each of these, you can click on the detailed explanation by clicking the accordion folder. It'll give you all the fun details. And then also, if you're not happy with that and you know a specific date, you can customize your estimate. You can change the information here if you have more current information. You can change the estimated annual earning increase, things like that. You can factor in a purchase. And here, this is where you can choose a date. If you're for all those keeners out there, a specific date, you know when you want to retire. Or if you know an age and you want to retire, you say, you know what, I know I want to retire at age 63. You click get a custom estimate. You just give it a few seconds and you keep scrolling down, and here's your custom estimate at age 63. Annual pension, bridge to age 65 as well. And then here's your detailed explanation on the accordion folder. If you keep scrolling down, you can print all your estimates, or you can request an official estimate from the CAAT plan. Okay, that means that we'll send you one via mail or directly through the portal, and you can request 3 of these a year if you're within 5 years of retirement. All right, so hopefully that helped you out a little bit. showing you the My Pension portal. I think it's great. More and more members are using them. And like I said, we're increasing the functionality by the second in My Pension. So we're nearing the end here, and we covered a lot in the webinar. So here are some of the key messages I want everyone to keep in mind. And simply the first thing we talked about is how your CAAT pension is more than a balance. It's more than an account balance. You belong to a DB pension plan. They are a big deal. You're in the minority. Not too many people have them, and we want to change that. That's our mission here. We want to increase that DB coverage across Canada. We talked about all the key features, the valuable features like conditional inflation protection, survivor pensions for you and your spouse. And we also talked about how you can increase your pension with a purchase. Just so everyone is aware, you can follow the CAAT plan now on Facebook. So this is relatively new, but you can scan the QR code on the screen and you can follow us to be the first in the know when it comes to your pension. If you want, totally up to you, but this is something that is great that we do now. And here's our contact information. Okay, so you can use secure messaging in My Pension like I showed you when I was doing the demo, or you can give us a call. We got our toll-free number, our 416 number. We are located in Toronto, and you can email us as well if you want. So thank you, everyone. Again, have a great day. For those that stayed on, my utmost thanks. I see quite a few people have stayed on. I appreciate that. Have a great afternoon, everybody, or evening. Thanks for joining us.